legal to do a lot of stuff. So you really have to like sell yourself because you're not a legit company. I've been there, so I know, and I'm trying to orient y'all. A lot of times where people are gonna doubt you and be like, you're 15, do you even? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Patricia and I love to do a lot of content that just helps people find jobs, make money, you know, get that money. So in today's video, it's also going to be pertaining to that. We're going to be talking about side hustles that teens can do in order to get that money, get their bag up. And honestly, I've been there where it's kind of like you've applied at so many places and you don't get a call back, you don't get hired, and you're just like, I'm never gonna make money before I'm 18. I got you guys. I've been there, I've seen it. My brother has lived it. So if you guys want to see the solution to all this, just keep on watching. Before we get started, is that subscribe button hit? Make sure to subscribe to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment down below any jobs or side hustles that you have tried, whether they have failed or not, and let's jump straight into it. Like usual, I always write down my facts, you know, so that I can make sure to cover everything in my videos. So if you see me looking down, y'all know what I'm looking at. Honestly, this video is going to kind of be like when you have applied at every single place you possibly could have as a teen and haven't gotten accepted, and now you're like, what's next? This video is going to cover all that because obviously my number one recommendation is that you start applying at places. Now, teenagers, I think the legal age for a teenager to actually work is 14. So if you're 13, you know, hang in there one more year. You can still do some side hustles in the meantime. But like I said, the legal teenage would be 14, and there still aren't many places that hire you at 14. There's very few. Obviously Publix does, and I can vouch for them, and I think it's a great company. So definitely apply as soon as you can, you know, to Publix. The other age gap that people start hiring at is 16. So some places make sure that you're 16 before hiring you, and then obviously the one that we all know, which is 18, some places make you wait till you're 18. Now, regardless of your age, if you just have not been able to get into any of these companies because, you know, you're young, they're looking at you in a way where, like, you know that they're not gonna hire you, you're not getting a call back, which, by the way, I'm not trying to like sell my videos, but Publix is a great company, and if you're a teenager, I think you should definitely start by applying there, and you can still do these side hustles in order to, you know, make more money, but definitely try applying at Publix. And I have dedicated like so many videos to this. If you're a teenager, I have videos dedicated to like how to get an interview at Publix as a teenager, because there's certain things that you should say that make you more, you know, of an asset, stuff like that. So make sure you check those out. But let's get into honestly like what y'all are probably here for, which is like, what's the side hustles? Like, nobody's calling me. What are the side hustles? All right, number one side hustle that I would say, I personally started with this one when I was 15, and boy, does this make a lot of money, more money than a lot of company jobs, is babysitting. Babysitting was one of my first jobs. I had no idea what I was doing. So don't think that you need to know what you're doing in order to like experiment new things. You just simply have to be honest, and you can tell somebody like, hey, I like working with kids, or hey, I'm available to, you know, babysit your child. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn. As long as you're willing to learn, not always will somebody give you a chance. There's some people who are like, I want an experienced babysitter. I don't want this, you know, high school kid who's just looking to make money touching my kid or watching my kid. But there's some people who are like, you know what, let me give this kid a chance. Okay, so what you need to do is not give up, because you might get 10 no's, but you might get one yes, and that one yes is going to be extra income in your pocket. Plus, you know, babysitting, I honestly like love babysitting, so it's really easy for me to recommend that to a lot of people. But if you don't like kids, disregard this one, because I don't want you guys to do it just because of the money, because honestly, like, you're in charge of another kid's life. But babysitting is definitely like a top pick one, and I have a whole bunch of babysitting videos up on my channel as well if you want to know more about that. I'm actually going to be dropping a babysitting video this week on how much I make as a babysitter. So take that into consideration. That's a pretty simple job. It works with your school schedule, because obviously if you're a teenager, you're probably still in school. And I recommend that for a lot of people. It's not too, you know, rigorous. It's not too hard to learn. You know, I think it's something attainable for many people. Luna, you want to go outside? Hustle number 2 would definitely be tutoring. This is where I first started off. When I was 15, I actually started tutoring this little boy, and then it made me realize how much I love taking care of kids, and that's how I got into the babysitting field. And after that, I just been like experimenting things that I really love doing and just going about them. So once I started realizing that I love working with people, then I applied at Publix. Like, it just went from one to the other, and a lot of times that's what it takes for you to realize what you really love to do. So tutoring is definitely something that I would say is really, really good for teenagers or like high school students to do at a young age. Now, I know that the first hustle I said was babysitting, but if you feel like you're not so sure if you're gonna love working with kids or if you'll be able to handle it, then I think tutoring is an easy way to start, because you deal with one kid, but it's like a one-on-one attention, and that's really gonna help you realize if you like dealing with kids or not. Because what happened with me is, when I was sitting down with the kid, once we were done tutoring, I was like, do you want something to eat, to drink? Let me cook you something. And then I was like, hold on a minute, like, I don't just want to be a tutor, like, I want to take care of kids and do more, because it was naturally coming out of me. So if you're not sure if you would be a good babysitter, or if you could handle it, or if, you know, it's a right job for you, then go ahead and start tutoring, because tutoring is definitely more manageable, simply because it's just you and the one student in a chair, and you guys are like in a specific area. You don't have to move, you don't have to be running around, you don't have to be doing a whole bunch of extra stuff. You just tutor the kid, and then they can go home. Now, if you're like, dang, I want to spend more time with the kid, I want to help the kid more, cook with the kid, give the kid some food, help him get dressed, stuff like that, then that's when your babysitting skills are coming out of you, and then maybe you should apply to be a babysitter. Now, I might do a separate video on how much you should be charging for each of these jobs, simply because just because these aren't a company job doesn't mean that you shouldn't be charging up there, because if anything, all these jobs get paid much more than company jobs. Like, just because you're not being accepted into a company doesn't mean that the job you're doing isn't worth a lot of money. If anything, it might be worth more than that company was willing to pay you, because all my side hustles pay me more than all of my company jobs. Okay, so I just want to throw that one out there, because I don't want people to feel like, oh, I didn't get accepted into anywhere, so let me just put my prices on the floor so somebody can just hire me. Like, these are jobs that they're not so easy. Like I said, if you're babysitting, you're in charge of someone's life. If you're tutoring, you know, you're in charge of like actually helping this kid. Whereas if you were like in a company, all you're really in charge of doing is bringing somebody up. Like, it's a lot easier jobs. So make sure you take that into considerations. Your side hustles should be paying you like pretty up there. The next one I would say is, what is your hobby? Like, you and me speaking, what is your hobby? Like, do you like to bake? Do you like to paint? Do you like to do hair? Like, what is your hobby? And then capitalize on that. So if you like to bake, if you're like me and you love to bake, you know, brownies and cookies and cupcakes and stuff, like, use your hobbies or your potentials that you have at home to kind of like do your own thing and make money with it. So what does that mean is, for example, I have a friend who loves to play piano, and when he was younger, he didn't really like to play piano, but his parents like forced him. But now he gives piano lessons. So if you know how to do something, or if you like to do something and you're good at it, then use that. If you are like an expert at, I don't know, doing hair, then go ahead and start doing hair services and charge people for their hair. If you're a makeup artist and you like doing makeup and you're trying to learn, practice and practice, and then once you get it down, charge people to do their makeup, to go to prom, to go to weddings, to go to parties, whatever it may be. A lot of times people ask me like, oh, how are you able to like afford some of the stuff you have? When I was in high school, I loved baking. Like, that was my thing. I loved baking on the weekends. I would bake a whole bunch of stuff, and I was always looking to try new things. Now, I would always like talk to myself and be like, dang, like, I wish I could make money through this, because obviously I was put so much time and effort into my stuff, and I really like doing it, but it would take a lot of my time up. And that time I could have been using, you know, to work and make actual money. So I remember one day I would post it like on my social media, and people would be like, oh, are you selling this? And I'd be like, no, like, you know, I'm just making it for fun. And people would just keep telling me like I should. So I brought it to school one day, and when I saw the amount of people who wanted to buy my stuff, that was like an instant like light bulb in my head. And I was like, all right, we're gonna do this. And I can't like, this pandemic killed me, and it was also some personal things that killed me too. But when I tell you guys, I was making a lot of money through that business. Like, I was able to buy my car. by renting that. So that should just tell you a lot. And I think I'll do like a separate video allocating like more time and specifications into the video on like how I did it and how to run a successful baking business and stuff like that. But that did really good for me. Why? Because I actually loved what I was doing. When you're passionate about something and you're good at what you do, you're gonna be successful in whatever it may be. Whether it may be you selling a $2 brownie, you'll still be successful, because guess what? It's not about how much that one item is. You can sell a $10 brownie, but if only one person buys that, is that better than 100 people buying your $2 brownie? So it's not about you putting these ridiculous prices on your stuff. It's about how many people are coming back to you and how many people are actually buying your stuff. And thankfully, I got a lot of that in high school. So I would definitely say, like, if you have some type of hobby or thing that you like to do, try to see how you can work around it in order to start making money from that. Another thing that I want to mention is services. So when you're hustling as a teen, you obviously have to put yourself out there. It's basically in the word, you have to be willing to, do a lot and go to extremes in order to, get your bag, because a lot of people are not taking you seriously as a teenager. So if you see that the old person next door to you is having trouble mowing their grass, boom, hey sir, you know what, I'll mow your grass. I'm trying to start a little mowing company. I only charge $15 to mow your grass, but I got you. I'm gonna do it for you. I could do it right now, tomorrow, whenever you want. Like, sell yourself. If you're not selling yourself, don't think you're gonna make a bag, because people already look down on you as a teenager. Like, you're not legal to do a lot of stuff. So you really have to like sell yourself, because you're not a legit company. You're just like a little kid, honestly. Like, I'm trying to say that in the most respectful way, because I've been there, so I know. And I'm trying to orient y'all. Like, y'all are not just gonna go somewhere and people are gonna be like, oh, okay, go ahead. No, there's a lot of times where people are gonna doubt you and be like, you're 15, do you even know how to change a diaper? You're 15, do you even know how to put shutters? Like, a lot of times people are just gonna make you feel like, and you gotta keep going. You gotta be like, yes, I do. And matter of fact is, you don't even have to take care of that person. But if anything, that should give you fuel to the fire to keep going around and selling yourself until somebody gives you a chance, because guess what? Somebody is bound to give you a chance. So don't give up. Now, the thing with the mowing the lawn, that's a good one. Another one is like, if a hurricane or something's coming on, take advantage of life situations that are going on. So if there's like a hurricane in your state about to come, and you see that somebody's having trouble putting up the shutters, you have to go offer your services. Like, hey, I would love to put up your shutters. I only charge like $10, $15, $20, whatever it is that you want to put your price at, and then go ahead and do that for them. Also, for example, we have this pandemic going on. If you see this old couple next door to you who can't go out, you could be like, hey, I'll do your groceries, just give me like $15, $20. Like, you have to turn around, like, not manipulate, but you have to turn around some of these situations and use it to your advantage. Because sometimes people will be like, you know what? You're right. I don't feel like going to the grocery store today. I'm old. The pandemic's going on. So, all right, here's $20. Go ahead. Sometimes people just like forget. They're just like, I'll do it myself because I don't even know who to call. But when you're offering your services and putting yourself out there and promoting yourself to be like the best, lawnmower or like shutter person or whatever it is that you're doing, people will believe you, because a lot of times people believe your word. Now, you have to come through. Like, don't do a bad job. Like, if you genuinely don't know how to mow a lawn, don't do it. Like, practice in your lawn first and then go do other people's lawn. But still, another one would be car washes. Guys, like, literally, my boys out here, if you have a hose and some soap and you've seen those YouTube videos and you can, do little car washes around your neighborhood, or even expand yourself and start doing car washes for other people. If you're 16, you might have a car. It might be easy for you to move around, stuff like that. That is a big business. That's a huge business. I just want to say something really quick. As long as you're professional with your business and you know what you're doing, like I've already said, you will be successful. So if you want to start a car wash business and you're 15, but you're goofing around with it, that's exactly the results you're gonna get. Goofy results. You're not gonna be successful in it. But if you're 15 and you're coming out with like business cards and being professional, and you have an Instagram page and you're like, I charge this much for this car and this, and you're like secure about your business because you feel like you have a legit business, because that's how you should feel, people will hire you, okay? Next one I would say is to sell stuff. Now, I don't always recommend this one. I think a lot of people have done it at some point in their life. Obviously, it's kind of like to buy stuff cheaper from somewhere else and then resell it at a higher price. A lot of times people do this with like jewelry or like hair accessories. I don't entirely recommend this, just because when people find that stuff cheaper somewhere else, they might come at you like, bro, like, we found this cheaper somewhere else. It shouldn't phase you, because at the end of the day, the person who was trying to buy it should understand that it's a business. Like, you can't sell it for cheaper. Obviously, you have to sell it for more. But a lot of times, like I said, it can be hard to make money with this, because if people find it cheaper somewhere else, then that's most likely where they're gonna go. So you have to make sure you know what you're buying and at the price you're buying it at, and if maybe you could buy it wholesale and get it cheaper, and really like figure it out so that you can be successful when you resell it at a higher price. Another one would be to like make stuff, you know, customize it. If you want to make shirts, but like customize it so that they can't find this somewhere else. That way when you resell this shirt at a higher price, they can't find it cheaper anywhere else, because it has a customized logo, it has a customized something. If you know how to make, I don't know, hats, make hats and then customize it so that they can't find it cheaper somewhere else. And all those things will get you money. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this video. Honestly, guys, it's all about how you present yourself, promoting yourself, selling yourself to a crowd, making yourself sound legit. You know what I'm saying? You can't sound weak. You can't be like, oh, well, for your car, I'll charge you $22. No, you gotta be like, I charge this much for this car. Or if you're gonna be putting up shutters for people, you have to be like, look, I charge $20 for a whole house, or I charge $20 per every window. I don't know how you guys want to price it. That's really up to you guys. Remember that time is money. So even though it might not be an extremely hard job, if it's going to take you 4 hours, it should definitely not be less than $10 an hour. And if anything, it should be more than that, but that's completely up to you on how you're going to charge that, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that up to you guys. I will probably be doing a part 2 to this. I might do a how to charge your service video. So don't worry, I got you guys with that if you don't know how to price your stuff. And make sure you guys stay tuned, because I got you guys. But I hope this video helps some of you guys out. And also make sure though that your applications are in for these big companies, because hustles aren't permanent. So one day you might be booming and the next day you might not be. And a hustle is something that you can still do even if you're working in a company, but a company is always a more secure job, and it will lead you towards like a brighter future, unless you're, you know, trying to do your own business, which I completely like salute and commend and everything. But make sure that when you start off something in life, you know, it's obviously not gonna blow up the next day. So still have some other stuff going for yourself, just in case, you know, worst of the worst, if it takes 10 years for it to blow up, you know, you have something in the meantime. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and stay in tuned. Bye.